everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. So, as you can tell from the title, today I'm going to be testing out a load of new makeup and letting you all know my thoughts. So, as you can see, I've already filled in my brows, and for that I use the new Huda Beauty, what are you called again? Hashtag Bomb Brows Brow Pencil in the shade number 7, Black Brown. And then I also use the Sample Beauty Brow Gel, and these two products are incredible. This holds my brow hairs in place so well. And this, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the camera. Not sure if that's in focus or not, but it is literally the most teeniest, tiniest, finest brow pencil you will ever find, and this may just be a new go-to for me. I absolutely love it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right on into testing the rest of the makeup. So I've just gone ahead and primed my eyelid using my P. Louise base and applied a little bit of tape. And for the eyeshadow palette, I have one from Catrice. This is the Neon Earth palette. It's in their Pro Slim eyeshadow palette range, and get this little bit of plastic off. And this just has lots of beautiful warm tones and browns and all that good stuff. So let's dive right in. I think firstly I'm going to take a bit of this warmish reddish shade called Big Bang. Just get some on my brush, load her up, and just start to work that into my crease. Okay, she is nice and pigmented, off to a good start. And then I'm also going to pat that on me outer thingy-my-bob. My outer V, that's the one. So far, so good. And then now I'm going to take the shade next to it, this nice burnt orange shade called Heatwave. And just slap that on right above. Ooh, I really like this shade. I do find you have to dip in like a few times to get the maximum pigment payoff, but I don't mind that personally. Now to blend out those edges, I'm going to take some of the shade here called Gravity, and let's see if this blends out nicely or not. This palette is available to buy from Just My Look. I will leave a link in the description for you all so you can find it nice and easily. Okay, so it's blending out pretty nicely. Not the easiest shadow to blend in the world, but also not super difficult either, so not really anything to complain about. But they definitely do blend out pretty seamlessly. Just takes a little bit more effort than some other shadows, but nothing like crazy. You're not going to have to sit here for hours on end. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to that first shade called Big Bang just to intensify it a bit more. And then I'm not too sure what to do on the lid, so I'm just gonna swatch a few shades. So we have Spark. Ooh, they feel nice and creamy. And then this really cool looking one called Gold. And then we have Solar Flare. And then this one here, which looks really cool too. This is called Supernova. These are all very creamy. That is what those four look like there. I think I'm going to use the shades Spark and Solar Flare. So firstly, taking Solar Flare, the darker of the two. I'm hoping this will apply well with a brush, fingers crossed. Ooh, hopefully the camera does this justice because this is so stunning on the eyes. It's working really well with a brush too, which is great. Just going to take that halfway across my eyelid. And then also taking that lighter one called Spark. And then just placing that over the rest of my lid. This one is seeming like it takes a bit more building up than the darker shade, but it is still really pretty, in my opinion. And then just taking that previous brush that I used to just soften the edges. So you guys know the drill. I'm going to hop off camera, do the other eye, and I will be right back. So I'm really hoping that this shade will work for me. It might be a bit pale, but I am quite pale anyway, so shouldn't be too bad. So let's give it a good old shaky shaky. Comes with a nice pump, which is always super handy. So let's just pump some onto my face. We shall start off with that and see how we go. So does it say about the coverage? True skin, but better. Hydrating foundation with hyaluronic acid and watermelon seed oil. Ooh. Leaves a perfectly even skin tone and natural matte finish, medium to high coverage. So I prefer medium coverage, so hopefully the sponge will give me that. Because obviously the sponge does soak up some of the products, so I would imagine you'd get more full coverage with a brush, but I always prefer a sponge. So away we go. This shade could work, hopefully, but if it's a little bit light, I'll just load up the bronzer. Straight off, it's definitely giving me more of like a light to medium coverage, which is always what I prefer personally. Take it down my neck. Super attractive. Doesn't seem to be blending out too nicely. It's almost going like a bit patchy, but maybe that could just be the sponge, I'm not sure. Perhaps it works better with a brush. But we shall power through. So I'm not too sure what this is picking up like on the camera, but this took a lot of work to blend out and to get it to look semi-decent, and I'm really not a fan, which sucks because I was so hyped to try this out, but it just did not work at all. But I'll definitely keep hold of it and try it out with a brush next time. But I have no idea what it's picking up like on camera, but in person it's just very patchy and it was so hard to blend out. So yeah, this one is a pass at the minute. And I definitely think I look a little bit ghostly, so but it's fine, we can bronze it up. So for concealer, I have the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Brighten and Correct Duo, and this is a stick concealer, so I'm a bit like, ooh, interesting. I don't normally go for stick concealers. I love a good stick foundation, but I've never really used a stick concealer. So this is in the shade 1N, and you get a correct side and then a brighten side. So I assume you go in with the correct side first. It's just a little wee rounded stick. So fingers crossed this goes better than the foundation, hopefully. Just apply. Ooh, it's very creamy. Not what I was expecting at all. So let's just start off with that and see how we go. Not really sure how this is supposed to correct because it does just look more like a skin tone, but we shall see. Just taking my same sponge again. Okay, surprisingly this is actually blending out really easily. Wow. Not what I was expecting at all. Wow, I'd even be happy just to use that one on its own. It's giving me a decent amount of coverage. Not full coverage, but I do have incredibly dark under eyes, but that has covered them really nicely. So let's go in with the second side, which is the, if I can find it, which is the brighten side. And that is this one. And they definitely look very similar in shade, so I don't really know. I'm not a professional makeup artist or nothing, so there's probably some logic behind this. And let's blend that out. Yeah, this is blending out super nicely. I am pleasantly surprised by this. So let's zoom you in a bit so you can see the difference. This is the side obviously with the concealer, and then this is the side without, and that's done an amazing job. I really like this so far. So let's do the other eye. Okay, so I've just swatched them on my hand here, and I don't know if mine has been labelled incorrectly, because this lighter one is labelled as the corrector, and then this one here is labelled as the one that's supposed to brighten. So I think they're supposed to be the other way around, I'm not too sure, but yeah, just thought I would note that quickly. Now to set the under eyes in place, I have another product from Laura Mercier. This is their Secret Brightening Powder for under eyes. This is what the packaging looks like. Super cute, really tiny. And I'm just gonna pour some into the lid. Take a little bit on my brush. and then set away. Oh wow, that looks so lightweight and flawless under my eyes. I think I might actually prefer this to the normal translucent setting powder, because obviously this one is made specifically for the under eyes. So, oh my god, yeah. That just set that so nicely, and it's not too matte at all, which is great. I love it. I think it looks absolutely beautiful under the eyes. Now let's do the other eye. And I literally take, like, I don't know if you can see that there, the tiniest amount, and just set away. Love it. And I never hear anyone talk about this really, only their normal translucent setting powder, but this one definitely deserves some more hype. So now it is time to add some colour into this big old moon face of mine. I picked up one of the new shades in the Revolution Glow bronzer range. They're Splendor Ultra... Wait, sorry, no, this is the highlighter. This is the bronzer. This is the Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer in the shade... What shade did I get? Fair to Light. So let's open her up. And this is absolutely ginormous. Has beautiful reflective gold, rose goldy packaging. And then this is what the back looks like. Comes with a nice mirror. And then this is the shade. Looks quite orangey on camera, but in real life it's more like of a neutrally toned bronzer. So let's load up my brush. And bronze away. I'm hoping this shade will be good for me. I think it was like the second shade in the range. It's looking like a good shade so far. Not too pigmented straight off, which I absolutely prefer in a bronzer and a blush, so that's good. Just going to go in with a little bit more and build up the pigment. That is such a beautiful bronzer. Don't know if I've gone a bit ham, but never mind. Yeah, it applied so nicely, it's blending out effortlessly, and yeah, of course it's Revolution, so it's definitely going to be affordable. But yeah, this is one I'm definitely seeing myself get a lot of use out of. So let's do the rest of my face. Blendy, blendy, blend. A little bit on my jawline. And my big forehead. Yeah, there we go, nice and bronzed. I give this bronzer a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. The shade I feel like is perfect for me, and I can see myself getting a lot of use out of this, and it is a very big bronzer. You get 15.5 grams of product, so it will last a really long time. So I don't have a new setting spray to try, so I'm just going to quickly set my makeup with the Makeup Obsession Peony Prime and Essence Mist. Lovely jubbly. And then when I seen Revolution had launched this, I could not resist. It is a fan. Like, this is just so extra, but I love it. Just dry that setting spray down. I absolutely love it. I couldn't not buy this. It's brilliant. And the new items in the Glow range were 3 for 2, including this fan, so you can't go wrong. And then now we want this, the Splendor Ultra Glow Highlighter in the shade Lustre. And this again comes in a big ass compact, and this packaging is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. And for the highlighter you get 13 grams of product, so it's still quite a lot, I think. And then this is what she looks like on the inside. Let's just do a little swatcheroo. And that is the shade there. Like a sort of pinky, champagne-y almost kind of shade. So let's load up my brush. And let's go. Ooh, she's pretty. More of a subtle everyday highlighter, but I still think it is super pretty. Gives a nice glow to the cheekbones. I don't know why, but I was expecting it to be more blinding, but it still packs a really nice punch. And yeah, definitely one for those of you that prefer a more subtle highlighter as opposed to one that's like bam right in your face. So let's do the other side. And you do have to like swirl your brush in here quite a lot to get enough product on your brush. Just a little note there for you all. But yeah, even though it's more subtle, I definitely can see myself using this a lot because it is so pretty and just looks so, I don't even know the word, but it just looks beautiful on the skin. And a little bit on my schnoz. And yeah, this is a really good highlighter. I definitely would check this one out. Okay, so last but certainly not least is time for lips, and I don't think this shade is going to match the eye look, but we're just going to roll with it. It is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink liquid lipstick in the shade Ruler, which is a nice sort of muted pink shade. And then I also have the Essence Shine 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 Wet Look lip gloss in the shade Behind the Scenes, which is just a nice clear gloss. So let's get cracking. It's a very thick formula, like it's not liquidy at all. Like as soon as you put it on your lips, it like stays there until you wiggle it about with the doe foot. And I really love this shade. It definitely doesn't go with the eye look too well, but that's fine. So that is it fully applied, and even though it's a more thick formula, you still have a lot of time to work with it and move it around before it fully dries down, so that's definitely a plus. Now let's try this gloss. One thing I would say with like clear glosses like this, I think it would be much better if they came with like a plastic doe foot as opposed to like a little fuzzy one. Just so you can clean it off better and so that the lip product you have on underneath doesn't like get transferred into the gloss. But yeah, just my personal opinion. But yeah, let's go. Ooh. It's not sticky at all. Gliding on super nicely. But yeah, do you see what I mean? Like, it gets all in there, and then obviously that's going to transfer into the gloss, but that's fine. But yeah, this is not sticky at all. It looks so shiny and wet. I love it, paired with this lip colour. It is beautiful. So I'm going to quickly go and finish off my eyes, and I will be right back to chat through my thoughts. Okay, so this is the finished look. The foundation is definitely throwing me off a little bit, but let's just try and look past that. And yeah, so my favourites were definitely the Huda brow pencil, the eyeshadow palette, the bronzer was amazing. I really surprisingly loved the concealer. The setting powder was absolutely phenomenal, and the lip products too. Basically everything really, apart from the foundation, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, please let me know if you are going to check out any of these products or if you've tried them already, and let me know some videos you'd like to see down in the comments below. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and hit that subscribe button and little notification bell. It would mean so much to me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.